Today, Magnet faces a crossroads. Every Magnet student is aware of the tremendous responsibility STUCO has, from organizing flexes, fall ball, and many other activities for students, parents, and teachers. It's a rare opportunity for Magnet to decide who will serve on the executive board, choosing from candidates for all three offices. It's also the first time that the results of the STUCO election will be announced right here for the greater Magnet family to see. We have the latest analysis and full coverage of the results, clarity on who's running, why, and whether we're looking at a runoff. It's a day of many firsts, one that will decide future elections, and our coverage begins right now. From the Rockdale Magnet School for Science and Technology, this is Magnet Newsroom, Magnets Vote 2023. Here now, Jalen Tate and Alyssa Cornwall.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Magnet Newsroom's coverage of the 2023 Student Council election. The campaigning is over, and every vote has been cast to decide who will be on the Executive Board of Student Council, or as we like to call it, STUCO, for next year.
Now we have quite a few positions up for grabs, 6 total. This election is historic for 2 reasons. One, incumbent President James is unable to run for re-election. This is the first time in recent memory for any class here at Magnet that a president only served a single year. The second reason is the election is historic is the fact that the incoming board will be sworn in either the final weeks of December or early January next semester, unlike previous years where the board-elect would not be sworn until the next year.
Now, here at Magnet Newsroom, we have been preparing for this day all semester. We cannot believe that it's finally here. Now, without further ado, here are the results.
Magnet, your next student council president will be Ari Foster, who ran unopposed. Your sergeant at arms for membership will be Ryan Lynn, who ran unopposed. Your secretary of operations will be Helen Villache, who ran unopposed. Your sergeant at arms for supply and distribution will be Mario Manriquez, defeating Corey McFarlane. Your historian will be Charlotte Wright, defeating Perazera Momin. Your vice president of communications will be Precious Babahida, defeating Savannah Giddens, meaning Savannah will be the vice president of marketing. Congratulations to everyone elected to the board, and for the run-up results, we will be sure to bring you those results after the break. Our first story is on our final exams and exemptions. As usual, RCPS high school students have the opportunity to exempt in a semester exam in 1 or more classes. To exempt, you must have an 85 or above in the core semester grade in Infinite Campus by December 8th. There are additional requirements which are on your screen now. There's an exemption form that you will need to fill out, which you can find in the newsletter or retrieve a physical copy from the front office. And be sure to email it or turn it into the front office between December 11th and December 15th before noon. If you do not exempt from a final, then see the schedule on your screen now, and you will take this finals between December 20th and December 22nd. Now a Magnet Newsroom exclusive, amid a crucial time in the future of education. We were able to speak with Superintendent Dr. Terry Oatts for a one-on-one interview. He discussed his life as well as many issues facing the district. That's our Superintendent, Dr. Terry Oatts. Thank you for having us.
Certainly. Thank you for the invitation.
Okay, so the first question is, how long have you been involved in education?
This is my 30th year as a public educator. I began my career 30 years ago as an elementary special education teacher assistant, and I would go on to work in several other positions in education. And this is my 6th year as superintendent of Rockdale County Public Schools.
What initially sparked your interest to become an educator?
Well, I actually have to admit that, ironically enough, in terms of this format, my undergraduate studies were at Georgia Southern University in communication arts with an emphasis in print and broadcast journalism. So I had the privilege of working the last 2 years of my undergraduate studies as a local television news reporter an anchor. I actually aspired to be the next Dan Rather, but my mother always encouraged me to consider education, and so after completing my undergraduate degree in communication arts, I got my certification in middle grades education, and that began my education journey.
As we look to the future of RCPS, what is one goal that you have for the future and how do you plan on executing it?
Well, listen, we want Rockdale County Public Schools to be a premier school district in metropolitan Atlanta, and we really want it to be a school district of choice. And so there are many goals, obviously, to continue to expand advanced placement participation, to increase gifted student eligibility and enrollment, increase career, technical, agricultural education pathway opportunities for students, also to increase our AP course offerings, but also to just make sure that students have an opportunity to get constructively involved and engaged in a club or activity or pathway. Those are goals, because what we know is that when students are involved in something that is of intense interest to them, the graduation rates are higher. Students stay in school to complete their studies. So that's just some of the things that, some of the goals that we have here in Rockdale County.
What do you see as the most critical challenge in education currently facing the school district?
Well, I think that perhaps the most critical challenge is not just a local challenge here in Rockdale County, but it's a national challenge, and that would be the teacher shortage. Fewer individuals are going into pre-service teacher education preparation programs, which is contributing to the overall pipeline shortage of teachers. And so the school district and the Georgia Department of Education and the United States Department of Education have all had to become more creative in terms of how you can recruit individuals to train them so that they can be effective educators. So the teacher shortage is huge. And then, of course, compensation. That's part of the challenge, is making sure that we're paying our teachers a competitive salary, and for that matter, our classified personnel, that we're paying them competitive hourly wages. So those are some of the major challenges, and it's impacting not only Rockdale County Public Schools, but school districts all across the country.
Do you think artificial intelligence can be integrated into our schools safely?
That is a very interesting and timely question, and I actually am of the view that it would be futile to try to outlaw these types of generative technologies such as AI, but rather we need to try to find a way, I call it constructively co-opting these technologies, finding ways that we can coexist in a very meaningful way with them and integrate them into our overall system. And so that's going to require a partnership with students and teachers and administrators and parents. But no, I believe strongly that we have to find ways to integrate generative technologies into our curriculum and into our overall system and requirements, and how we think about assignments and how they're to be assigned, and how we develop rubrics, and how we assess students' mastery of content. So I'm actually excited. It's a little scary, but it's also exciting.
How is the district working to combat potential cheating from AI, and what are the benefits and challenges of using this software in education?
Right, we just had this conversation. Weekly, I convene my executive cabinet, which consists of all of my chiefs over the critical areas like technology, human resources, teaching and learning, student support services, and this was a big topic of discussion on Tuesday of this week, is how do we go about looking at and reviewing and analyzing our existing policies around academic integrity, to your point, when you talked about cheating, and how do we reconcile that with a generative technological age like AI. And we don't have all the answers yet, but what we're clear on is that we can't just outlaw or prohibit our way out of making the best use of AI and generative technology. So we're thinking, and with that, I'm going to be enlisting my student advisory councils and even a special task force that includes students on how we can effectively leverage AI and generative technology within our school system.
How do you foster a positive and collaborative relationship between your office, RCPS staff, parents, and students?
Well, we have a lot of ways that we do that. You've heard me talk about my advisory councils. That's probably one of the most significant ways that we try to enhance collaboration and engagement. I have a superintendent student advisory council, 3 actually, that consists of elementary students, middle school students, high school students. In fact, later today, as of this recording, I'll be convening my 2nd middle school superintendent student advisory council session. But I also have a superintendent parent advisory, where there are 2 parent representatives from each of our schools in the district that I meet with on every other month and for an hour, and we talk about things that are important to them. They get a chance to directly engage in Q&A with me. I also have a superintendent advisory council, which consists of people from business, industry, the clergy, nonprofit. There are people in Rockdale County, also government, local government, members of the county commission and the city council, or have in the past been members of that advisory council. But it's a way that we can engage. And also, starting last year, we began what we call engagement directly with the superintendent, in which we go to the high school and we host a community engagement forum for staff and then for families and students. And so that's been very well received.
What are the communication? Well, we've already answered that question, so we'll go ahead to the next one.
Sure.
How do you collaborate with local law enforcement agencies and first responders to prepare for and respond to any potential threats or emergencies on school grounds?
That's an excellent question. We have an Office of School Safety at the central office on Pine Street, and there's a director, Darren Green, who's a former law enforcement officer himself. He also worked in both the George W. Bush and Barack Obama administrations as a member of the safety detail. And he collaborates very closely with our local law enforcement partners. That would be the Conyers Police Department and the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office. And they work very closely, particularly on coordinating drills of the sort that you alluded to with your question. And we were required even by legislation, by state legislation from last year's General Assembly, to have a drill completed, an active shooter drill completed by October 1st, thereabout, sometimes in October. We were already doing that, but we did make some changes and adjustments to make sure that we were maximizing and optimizing the intent of the legislation. So we work very closely together. We also work closely together because we have systems that enable us to deploy emergency services as needed when threats are picked up that may be circulating on, on social media. That's been some things that we've experienced recently. I get a call from the sheriff, or I may get a call from Director Green, maybe after midnight or in the early morning hours, and it sets in motion all of our resources that we have to collaborate together to make sure that our schools are safe, our campuses are safe. So I'm very excited about the partnership that we have with local law enforcement.
So, with the law enforcement, what is the protocol to inform students,
Sure.
families, and staff?
Sure. And that's a really good question. What are the protocols for informing our stakeholders, parents, students, when there may be threats or some sort of situation that may compromise safety and security? And the answer is it depends. It depends on the specific threat or potential threat. So, for example, if we get word that there is a threat that's circulating on social media, an unspecified threat, or at least one that may not be attributable to someone that we can find or know right away, then it's important for us to assess that and say, how credible is the threat? And that's part of the law enforcement investigation. It's a joint investigation by our Office of School Safety and the local law enforcement. So if we're talking about Rockdale County High School, that resides within the city, so the jurisdictional law enforcement agency would be the Conyers Police Department. And we work closely with them, and they use their experience in looking at, almost from a forensic standpoint, but when you're talking about forensics within a cyber security context, they look at that and they give us a recommendation about how credible they think the threat is. If it's a high credibility threat, then it involves my contacting my chief communication officer, Cindy Ball, and she will push out information as we determine is necessary via remind or via maybe direct principals to send out a message via IC Messenger. We also have a protocol by which we know when we must send it for your information email to our local Board of Education so that they're looped in to an unfolding situation. So the short answer is it depends, and I won't bore you with all of those details, but I hope you get a sense of how we make those decisions.
Are there any areas that the district can improve on as far as communication?
Sure. I think that the centerpiece of we have a 5-year strategic plan, and the centerpiece of our 5-year strategic plan is continuous improvement. So to your answer, yes, we believe that there are always areas that we can continuously improve in. With respect to communication, communication is one of those things that you never perfect, but you can always continuously improve. So if you ask some ways that we can do that, I think we've got to enlist our stakeholders, bring them to the table and say, how can we be more effective with our communication? Because our communication goes out to stakeholders. We're communicating with parents, with students, with staff, with others, in interagency communication, when we're communicating with our local law enforcement partners or nonprofit partners. So I think part of that is bringing them in and say, how can we be more effective in communicating the information to you that you need to know? So we don't have all of those answers, but I do believe that we have improved our communications, partially by bringing in tools and resources that enable us to communicate more effectively and more efficiently to a broader audience. Remind. We didn't have Remind when I became superintendent in 2018, but we have had Remind for some years now, and that has enhanced our communication capacity. And there have been other tools that we've utilized as well.
What are some steps that the district has done to ensure an equal opportunity for all students to learn in a safe and adequate learning environment, regardless of disability, language barrier, or any other possible disadvantage in our community? Well,
I think the first thing is that we're committed to providing the appropriate services to students based on their unique needs. So you named some areas that are very important. You talked about language diversity or limited English proficiency. You talked about special needs. So whether we're talking about students who require some additional instructional support or learning support, students who require language support, or students who may have some socioeconomic challenges and they need some fundamental resources and tools. We have the resources to provide that, and it's departmental in nature. So we have an Office of Student Support Services, which includes our school counselors, social workers, psychologists, homeless liaisons. So depending on what the circumstance is, we have staff that we can deploy to look into that and provide the appropriate support. So yeah, we're committed to that, and the way we do that is we're constantly looking at the specific departments that are designed to provide specific services to targeted populations, and we make sure that we properly staff and resource those departments so that they can be effective in their service delivery to the target audiences.
Well, this concludes our interview. Thank you for coming out and answering our questions today.
Indeed, thank you so much for the invitation, and I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Now a look at the upcoming Magnet events. The 9th and 10th grade advisement meeting will be Thursday, December 14th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. The last day of the first semester will be Friday, December 22nd. In addition, high school students will early release that day. And finally, December break will be the weeks of December 25th and January 1st. Now before we end this newscast, this will likely be our last newscast of the semester. So if we do not produce another newscast before a break, we hope you enjoy it with your family and friends, young and old, wherever you may be. We wish you all the happiness of peace and a very happy holiday season. Happy holidays from our family to yours, and that is for the Magnet Newsroom, from us and all the team. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye for now.
Hey guys, I hope you have a wonderful break. Get lots of rest, catch up on your movie watching, and we look forward to seeing you when spring starts.
Hello, Rockdale Magnet. I just want to take a few moments to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a very happy 2024.
Hey Magnet, it's Miss Gittens here. Just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and a Happy Holiday. Enjoy your break, get all the rest you can, because when you come back, it's work time.
Hey, Have a good break. That's all.
Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to you all.
Happy holidays, everyone. Have a wonderful break.
I want to wish Rockdale County school system a happy New Year and Christmas.
Happy holidays. Remember, your dress is a success.
Have a great holiday break. Enjoy yourself.
Hi, everybody at Magnet. I hope you all have a wonderful vacation after exams. Enjoy yourselves, spend time with your family, relax, and have fun.
Merry Christmas. Have a great break.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays. I hope that you have a great holiday season. I look forward to seeing you back in January.
Happy holidays.
Have a happy holiday break.
Greetings, family, students. I would just like to wish you all a happy holiday. Take some time to rejuvenate, relax, do something that you truly enjoy, and definitely take time to spend with family and friends. And again, happy holidays.
Happy holidays, students. I hope everybody has a fun, safe, and relaxing break. See you in January.
Have a fantastic break, Magnet.
Hey, Magnet students. Have a wonderful holidays. Get some rest, spend time with family, eat well, and I look forward to seeing you back in January.
Hey, good morning. My name is Mr. Presley. I teach advanced algebra. I want to wish all of you a great break. Happy holiday.
I hope everyone has a safe and restful holiday break. See you next year.
Hey Magnet, I hope you have a great holiday and a happy new year, and I will see you all in 2024. Have a great one.
Hey Magnet, this is Miss Bradford here, just wishing you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I look forward to seeing what great things you do second semester. Have a great break.
To all of you at Magnet, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Hi, Magnet. I hope all of you have a wonderful break with your family. Get some rest, get a little work done, and we'll see all of you next year.
Greetings and happy holidays, Magnet family. We hope you have a wonderful break, get some rest, have some fun, enjoy your friends and family, and we can't wait to see you back in 2024.
Happy holidays to the Magnet family. Thank you to our students, our staff, and our parents for all that you have done to make it an incredible first semester here for this school year. I hope that you rest and recharge over our winter break, and I look forward to us having the best year ever in 2024 for Rockdale Magnet School.
When ready.
That was hilarious.
Come on, Dale.
Good morning, y'all.